Hello, everybody. This is Michelle Mras, and this is Mental Shift. Reach your full market potential. Now, I just have to put a little disclaimer. Things that Derek and I are going to say today does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Bender Carey Group, of which this podcast is for. So, saying all that, I'd like you to meet Derek Enslow. He is the owner and operator of RE Home Marketing. And if you want to learn more about him, go to www.rehomemarketing.com and learn more. But we're about to talk.
Nice.
Yeah, so welcome, Derek.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on. What exactly would you like to know about RE Home Marketing?
Well, I know you're a veteran-owned business.
Yeah.
Veteran-owned from what? I mean, what service were you in?
Great question. No, so I graduated from the military academy, West Point, in 2003. I was commissioned as an engineer officer. I did 4 combat tours, everywhere from Kuwait to a year in Iraq to 2 years in Afghanistan. A variety of things. As an engineer, I tell people that we either build it or blew it up. Yeah. So, I enjoyed what I did, and I did that for 10 years. They were getting ready to send me back for a 5th deployment, and I had gotten out for 2 reasons. One was personal. I had gotten my Dear John email at the time, and I know it happens to a lot of us. And then the other was professional. The gentleman who came and took over for me, no fault of his own, he had not been deployed at all, and I had been deployed 4 times, and he had already been promoted to the next rank. So, I mean, sometimes it does happen. As they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And he actually had some good jobs with some generals. So he had been an attaché, and that being said, he actually progressed in the ranks a little faster than I did, but sometimes it just doesn't sound fair, especially when you have that combat experience. So they were getting ready to send me back for a 5th tour, and I said thank you, but no thank you. I think I've had enough, and I got out. Took about 6 months off. Decided to live off of all my deployment money that I had saved up, but when that's about 60 to 70,000. And you're young, you don't realize how fast you actually go through that.
Gone.
1 year. So, no, I became a financial advisor with a company here in Colorado Springs, and I missed my account by 1, or my quota by 1. So they said that it would be best to let me resign, so that way there wouldn't be any dings against my certificates or credentials. And then I made a lateral transfer to insurance.
So you're a man of trades, different trades. Okay.
Well, I will tell you what, mad respect to those of you in the insurance business out there, because it is not easy, especially here in Colorado where we got a lot of wind and hail. And so you guys put up with a lot. And even though I'm a people person, I just wasn't my cup of tea.
It's high stress.
Yeah.
And you're a pretty mellow man.
Well, I'm that left brain, right brain. I have a creative side to myself, but I was also an engineer, so,
That's why we get along. I'm like super artsy, but my background is in engineering.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that.
So having done, I went to a high school in Missouri called Hillcrest High School, so shout out to HGTV. We did for 96 and 98, we actually won the #1 news broadcast for a high school media production in the nation. Now, I'll date myself a little bit here. Anderson Cooper and Lisa Ling, when they were in college, they came and actually presented us the award that year. And so I was able to be a part of the team at my high school that received that award because I was actually on media. Now, I've always been behind a camera ever since I was little. As a matter of fact, I tell people I was the original inventor of the selfie. I mean, if Dan Quayle can say he invented the internet, I can say I invented the selfie, right? Except we had to wait a couple weeks in order to get our selfie back, because it had to go to print and processing and everything. Exactly. So I had an original, I think it was a Panasonic 110 camera. So it was one of those advanced ones,
Hmm.
the long triangle one. I think he even had the little bulb flash that, hooked up there and everything else. So that was quite interesting. But no, I've always been behind the camera. And I did a few projects as what they call a stringer in the military. And
What's that?
yeah, so a stringer is kind of like a freelancer, if you will. It's someone who is not an actual journalist or signed to the public affairs office,
Okay.
but they might produce a story from their company or battalion, their organization within the military, where there might not be a PAO person able to get out there. You still want to be able to tell your story.
What's a PAO?
Oh, good question. Yeah. So, sorry if I
Military talk.
I know military talk, public affairs officer or office, depending on what you're referencing. So it could be a military person or it could be the office itself. So
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
I just have to keep you, got out of the military people in line to make sure you realize that we don't all know what you're talking about.
I know. I might start throwing out times like 0900 here pretty soon.
Oh, I know, understand that. That's European time.
Oh, okay. So, no, so I did that a little bit in the military as well before I got out. But I got out and I went through a couple professions, obviously financial advising and insurance. And I realized that, I just did not want to build someone else's dream.
Yeah.
And very, very entrepreneuristic. As a matter of fact, when growing up, I can remember playing Monopoly, and I was all or nothing. I was either going to go bankrupt or I was going to own the whole board. So, and of course, we had our own house rules. So I would mortgage property in order to buy other property, which I don't think is actually allowed in the game according to the rules.
Yeah, it's your game.
But
it's your house.
it's house rules. So I decided to learn or join with a business partner of mine. He kind of funded it, and I had the equipment. So we created real estate home marketing.
Oh, RE home marketing.
RE home marketing,
Okay.
exactly. So real estate home marketing produces videos a lot of times for realtors. We do the drone work. We do the video tours, like the HGTV tours. But a lot of realtors, they won't use us right now in a good market. So it's actually good if the market turns. And here's why. They don't see the value. And if a house is selling really fast, as it has been here in Colorado for the past couple of years, why not just do pictures? And to that, I would tell them you need to add value to your client. So homeowners, if you're listening to this, if your realtor is not doing their job marketing, why are you paying them 3% commission? Yeah, I mean, if you're paying them, make them earn their commission.
Top dollar.
Top dollar every time. And so photos will sell a house. Absolutely. You'll put it on the MLS or the multi-listing system here in Colorado, and it will sell. But you want to be able to, like you said, get top dollar. And top dollar goes to being able to get the most amount of people to your house to see it at one time. So you need to create an urgency. Some people in marketing call it a sense of fear. And in this case, it's either a sense of fear that everyone's going to miss out because this house is being shown so well, or it's a sense of, oh my gosh, it's a sense of awe. I need to go see that house. So what I tell people is that depending on their price range, on the lower end, it's probably closer to 5%. On the higher end, it's 3% that you're leaving on the table. And so you're looking at me like, okay, 3 to 5%, what does that equate to? Well, let's take a house and we're going to do rough math. So if you're
Do 200.
200,000. Okay, so if you're selling a house at 200,000, 5% of that is probably about $10,000. Now you could sell your house for 200,000, but wouldn't it be nice to have $210,000? And you're thinking, well, how do I get $210,000 by investing in video marketing? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
I'm so glad I put that in your head.
No. So photos will get people out to the house. Your realtor will likely do an open house, but with video marketing, it has a broader reach. And so you get about 3 times more people to your house. We'll say with photos, you only had 10 people come, and we'll say 10% of those, which is one person, would make an offer. Okay? Simple math. Now, with video marketing, if we get you 3 times more people, and that's 30 people, 10% of that is what?
I have no idea.
3. Come on, you got this. So now you have 3 offers that you could choose from. And that's where the numbers come from with regards to being able to get you more money. Now, a lot of realtors will say, yeah, but the house still has to appraise and, this, that, the other. Listen, that is absolutely true. But that's not my job. My job is to get you top dollar and to put you in a position that you can negotiate for that. Because if you don't have that ability to negotiate, or you don't have those people because you only have one offer, then you're not going to get top dollar.
Well, and just from a personal point of view, as a military spouse, I was searching for a house online, long distance. And the pictures, you could tell just a straight picture is like, well, what's that angle? And I'm a very visual human. So I was trying to line the pictures up in my mind to the way the house would look. And if the pictures were taken at weird angles, I'm like, I don't know. I would just skip through them.
Yeah.
But the house that actually had a panoramic where they would start at one room and slowly pan, that got my attention. I looked at those houses.
Yeah.
And actually, the one that had the best video, it's the house I bought.
Nice.
I bought it sight unseen with video.
Well, that actually happens a lot more than you think.
I thought it was special.
Well, you are.
I'll keep them.
Special ed, maybe. No. Actually, we had a couple buyers, one from Hawaii that was looking to move here. And they saw the video. And as a matter of fact, the seller had told me that he told the buyer, listen, that the house sight unseen, it doesn't smell good. It actually had been infested with a lot of cats. He's like, listen, I don't care. I will come in. I will renovate it. I will gut it. I love the location. I love where it's at. I love what it has to offer. And so he bought the house.
Yeah. I bought it by a video. I saw the outside. I walked through the inside. I was having dreams because I was walking into the house and walking through it.
Well, people say you have to be able to visualize it.
It's a good story.
And yeah, so if you can see it in your mind, you can believe it, then it becomes real.
Mm-hmm. And the big seller, the catcher on it, I'm going to tell you all a secret. Women, if you have a house and you're trying to get your husband to buy it, don't tell them I said this. Whatever bakery item they like, have it cooking in the house that you want.
Ooh, yeah. No, so we sold a house in California because I moved from California to Missouri, where I'm actually from. And my mom had a pot of beans actually going on the stove that day, and that was the person who bought our house.
See?
So, yeah.
It works.
So having something that smells homely does work.
It does. I had cinnamon rolls cooking in the house. My husband did not want the house. I wanted the house. So I called the realtor and said, can you do me a favor? Can you cook? I mean, at least put them in the oven and heat them up a little bit before we come in. She says, sure. Bought the house. He walked in. He went, man, this smells like home.
Pillsbury cookies. Just throw them in there. Put it 400, 350, whatever
350,
it is.
400.
Okay. Just put them in there for 6 to 8 minutes. It's the aroma. Oh yeah. And who doesn't love carbs?
Some of us really, really want carbs is what we want.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, you are a master. Matter of fact, you've got your crazy gigantic camera here.
Do.
You've got to show them this. You see this gigantic camera?
Holy cow.
It's huge. Look, it's as big as my head.
I don't know if I could say this on the air, but sometimes people think I'm compensating.
For your brain.
Ah, okay.
There it is. Well, Derek is quite diverse. I mean, I met him at a BNI here in Colorado Springs, and I instantly liked him. I didn't even know what he did, but I wanted to talk to him, and I wanted him on my show. That's how I work.
Yeah.
But as we got to know each other, he is a man of many talents. So he, yes, is quite the artist. He has a massive background. Yes, he's a veteran. He's freaking brilliant. He can cook.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, so where
did that come from?
Yeah, so we had met, and I got to tell the background story.
Okay.
So I was getting ready to go to a Labor Day barbecue, and we had met, and I had extra bacon wrapped teriyaki Hawaiian type chicken. Now, I can't tell you my secret on the air, but if you contact me directly, and I'm sure we'll publish the phone number, but
not the phone number.
I'll give you my phone number.
You do not give out phone numbers.
Okay, I won't give you my
phone
phone
number. Your website.
Yeah, we'll do the website. My phone number's on the website. So you can call me and I'll give you the recipe. But no, bacon wrapped teriyaki chicken. And I let her, we were having a meeting. I said, hey, I got a couple extras. Do you want some? And oh my gosh, the Labor Day party was a hit. She enjoyed it. Later on, I think the next day, and it was a hit. You and your husband just really, I gave them two. I didn't just give one for her. I said she had to share. Now, whether she ate them both or not, I don't know. But
I shared a little. They were really good.
But who doesn't like bacon?
No one.
Yeah.
No one likes bacon. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. That's the polar opposite. Everyone loves bacon.
Yes, no one likes bacon.
But, okay, I want to know the background because you are not just someone who can cook. You know why things mix. It's like a chemistry experiment for you. Why? Where does that come from?
So, growing up, I had a great mom. Now, unfortunately, she has passed. It's been about almost 10 years, come this Veterans Day, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
But she would make us cook once a week when we got into high school. So, mothers, make your kids cook because when they go to college or, they're out and they're single and they're on their own,
they become heroes.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you don't want them at home with you. You want them out in the world, so you can go back and do fun things with your husband or your wife or whomever, So
what are you insinuating?
Nothing. I'm just saying that get the kids out of the house so you can enjoy your time alone. But in order to do that, you got to make sure that they know how to cook. And so my favorite recipe from my mom is my grandmother's meat and rice burritos. Those are amazing, easy to cook, and my mom would always cook us our favorite birthday meal. Now, mine was meat and rice burritos, and she loved that. My brother was born around Thanksgiving, and every once in a while, his birthday would actually fall on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That said, we were probably one of the few families, because I'm sure there was other families, but one of the few families that would have both a Thanksgiving spread and lasagna. Because that was my brother's favorite meal, was lasagna. So we called him Garfield.
But still, you're beyond just knowing how to cook.
Yeah.
You know the mixture of how things should mix. I can't explain it to all of you. I just know that he knows food and how things mix and the breakdown, the chemical reactions. It's like he learned it in a chemistry class and understands how things bond.
I wish. I'm just a foodie. Realistically is what it comes down to. And ultimately, you don't have to know how things, well, okay, you do have to know how things mix a little bit.
Yes, you do.
But you can never go wrong with salty and sweet. Okay, so you mix a little bit of salty with a little bit of sweet, and you got a perfect meal just about every time. Yeah.
And that's why I'm appealing. I am sweet, but a little salty.
Oh. Well, you said it, not me.
Well, I have the other thing is he has this gift for presentation. So that's the other thing about his videos. He has a skill to look at something and understand how it needs to mix and how it looks in order to sell it.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to be a videographer to know that, but he's got a gift. He's got an eye to see detail and understand how things will appeal. Now, for instance, he came to do this interview with me today. He asked me if I wanted a special drink. He was going to do something, I don't remember, something like he was going to do something special. Bring me something. He asked me if I had glasses of ice, and I said no. This is an iced coffee by Derek Enslow.
Yeah.
He does not go normal. This is glass.
Well, if
and
you're,
it's yummy.
So when I was deployed, I drank a lot out of plastic bottles. And so one of the gifts for presentation or just living life in general is that I promised myself that I would, if I could prevent it, try not to ever drink out of another plastic bottle again. So I enjoy glass. Now, I haven't graduated to crystal yet, but
Chop, chop.
I know one day, right? But no, why not enjoy life? Who knows? You are here one day and gone the next. And I learned that in insurance.
You apparently have not watched my TEDx.
No.
Get on that.
Yes, ma'am.
I talk about that. Life is too short. You are never promised tomorrow.
Mm.
Use the fine china. Use the fancy jewelry. Do not wait for a special occasion because today is your special occasion.
Take the plastic off the couches, jump on the bed, run in the rain, splash in the puddles, enjoy it all. I mean, you are absolutely right. So, talking about enjoying life and my, knack for presentation and storytelling, I'm going to go into a little bit about my acting.
Yes, because I told you we're going to go in to find out why you are the very unique human you are.
Yeah, so we'll come back to storytelling here in a second, but I don't look like the natural army guy with short hair and everything else. I have been in a couple theater plays, The Thorn. A lot of you guys may have remembered when it was at New Life.
Yeah.
Currently, for the past 2 years, it's been at Springs First Church of the Nazarene, which is off of Fountain and Murray. And I played a disciple. So the first year I played Peter, and then this past year I played Doubting Thomas. Who knows what I'll play next year? Whatever they need me to do, I'll do it. But I kind of let the hair grow out for that role. And then a couple years ago, I had an opportunity to go look for a casting agent. Now, a casting agent is someone that finds jobs on camera for you, sometimes for theater or whatnot. But I found that it's a lot easier to get the bad guy roles because they already have the good guy roles casted. And stereotypically, the bad guys tend to have longer hair. So I'm really not a bad guy. I feel like Wreck-It Ralph. I'm bad, and that's good.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I enjoy it. Believe it or not, I'm an introverted extrovert. I think we talked about this. I don't mind being in front of big crowds. I feed off of energy, but at the end of the day, it's draining. I like to go back and read, or I like to go to a movie theater, specifically the IMAX theater.
Big comfy chairs.
Big comfy chairs. Sit there in a nice, dark, quiet room, and you're totally focused. And that's kind of how I live life. I try to not spread myself out too thin. There's certain things I like to do, and then there's certain things that I have to do. We all have to do. But storytelling's one of them. And I told you I'd come back to storytelling. So my dad, Rick, growing up, he would always tell us bedtime stories. And then later on, I learned that Mark Twain, he would have his kids pick 3 items in the room, and he would create a story using those 3 items.
Oh, that's cool.
The young lady who I was with for about 6 years, I got to help raise her kids from a young age. So I implemented very similar things to storytell. And I would have them pick different things, and we would create stories out of them. So it's fun. It allows you to use your imagination. And I don't remember the exact quote, but Einstein said, being a big kid or something about imagination was more important than being smart and being logical and everything else. And that's so true. So just try to live life like a big kid. As a matter of fact, my friends say, Derek, would you rather go to Vegas or Disneyland?
Disneyland!
Absolutely.
Disneyland! Okay,
Absolutely. A bigger kid than me.
Yes.
So yes, absolutely. And I would rather sit at the kids' table for Thanksgiving because there's a lot less drama.
It's true. It truly is. And I think the whole thing about storytelling and imagination is all the greatest things in the world were created here.
Mm,
Not from a book where you learn from someone else. It came from the mind of someone who was dreaming.
yeah. Well, a lot of times people say, hey, I got to see it to believe it. And if we lived our lives like that as humans, we would not have cars. We would not have computers. We would not have cell phones. I mean,
Beam me up, Scotty.
there's the meme that talks about, your fifth grade math teacher said that you'll never have a calculator, with you in the future.
I remember that.
Yeah. I said, well, not only do I got a calculator, I got a TV, I got video games.
I can talk into my watch, and
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
yeah.
Star Trek. Excuse me. What? Remind me.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
A
So,
dreamer.
so along those lines of storytelling and imagination, while the company name is RE Home Marketing or real estate home marketing, I also do video production for other companies. We do utilize both a steady cam, so you put essentially this camera on a gimbal, and it makes it a lot easier to move and makes it seamless instead of bouncing it, all around, and you have that shaky video like you're on a boat. And we allow the client, or more so the client's client, to tell the story. And we put in different aspects of what they do, of who they are, because I don't know how many of you guys have kids, but we all know that as a kid, we never listened to our parents. No. But we listen to our mom and dad's friends, and we listen to our friends' parents, and we listen to everyone else.
And the TV.
And the TV. So why not have your clients tell your story? And that's what we're really good at, is allowing your company or your clients to give a client testimonial. And with the internet going the way it is, some people call it the juice, or the rankings that you get from video can actually boost your website to number one. So the more video production you do, the better off you are. So it's a great time to be in this industry, definitely.
Yeah. Well, definitely go to Derek's website. It's www.re Marketing. I keep saying RE, so it's RE homemarketing.com, and you can see some of his work. Contact him, call him, and ask him about that recipe for the teriyaki Hawaiian bacon wrapped chicken.
Yeah.
And whatever else. Really cool guy, but go check out what he does, because being a visual storyteller is a gift that not everybody has. Some people think they've got it, and they really just are taking pictures. There's a difference. There's a difference between taking a picture and telling a story. You need a storyteller to tell the story of your company.
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing it back around full circle, back to real estate specifically, we've had a lot of people thank us for the video. So as a realtor, you can add value to your clients, because I don't know about you, but I know my mom and dad took me to go see where they lived. And I've been back to my house that I grew up in when I was young in California, and it's not the same. And, I would love to be able to show people what the inside of the house looks like. But there's been houses that are no longer there. They've either burnt down. We've had a couple fires here in Colorado, so their house is no longer standing. They can't even show the kids what the house looked like. So what we do is for realtors is we encapsulate that house for their clients. And guess what their client's going to do? Well, in the age of social media, their client's going to post it on YouTube or on Facebook and show their friends and family. Say, hey, look what my realtor did for me. And that said, their realtor is going to be hired a lot more. You're going to get a lot more of those personal referrals, those word of mouth referrals that you strive so hard to get in business, because let's face it, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. So yeah, and then it's out there for people to see, and It's out there to show your kids, your grandkids, and everything else. I mean, I could probably remember shooting a house where they had the old crank party phone, and kids don't even know what a landline is, let alone a party phone. And so, how cool would that be to be able to show people, yeah, this is how we talk? They would plug us in, and it was the original conference call, except everyone listened in on your business, whether you wanted them to or not.
I remember that. Is someone online? Is someone else? I'm using it. Yeah. Well, basically, Derek, you are making a time capsule of whatever you're filming.
Yeah.
I like that.
And to some degree, going back to my insurance world, depending on what they have out there, if something did happen, you can, obviously, a lot of times in the houses, they're very decluttered. So you take down a lot of your stuff, but like your TV, your stereo equipment, your game stations, your china, maybe some of your bigger pieces of artwork are still hanging on the walls or displayed. Well, you at least have the ability to show your insurance if something did ever happen to your house.
Yeah, that's huge. I was part of the Black Forest fire, so we had to video our entire house. Yeah, it's very true. We needed all of that. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely.
You're pretty much of a rock star to me.
I try.
Well, the other thing I really appreciated with you is, one, you went from the military, you have an engineering background, you found your artistic side, you grew your hair out, you've been in plays, not just any old play. The Thorn is a huge play. And then you do this whole video storytelling aspect of your world, and actually you do storytelling in everything. And I'm a huge storyteller. I mean, as an international speaker, all I do is tell stories to share lessons. And I just realized, beyond the fact that we have a lot of background that's very similar, you're an actor too.
Yeah.
Except he's a real actor.
And I'm just a real person.
Yeah. I just do voiceovers.
Okay. That's still acting.
Yes.
With your voice?
Yes. Access denied. Access granted. Yeah.
Nice.
No, so we just have something else in common, so that's just kind of crazy.
Absolutely. You want to hear a story?
I would love to hear a story.
Okay. So one of the cool things that I'll tell you a little bit about my military career. So
you don't have to shoot us if you tell us, do you?
No, absolutely not. I know you're safe.
Okay.
So on my third deployment, I was in Bagram, Afghanistan, and we were removing landmines. And I worked for an Australian major.
Wait. You were removing landmines.
Well, I personally wasn't. But
okay, because I'm like, you were EOD?
No, but my team, we had mine dogs and we had contractors. And so I was more so in charge of the operation and everything else. However, I did have to go out. And in order to certify the field clear, one of the things that me and my operations NCO, it was a Marine, Gunny Sergeant Molina, we'd have to go out and walk the field.
Oh no!
And that talk about, if you've ever done like a trust fall, you're quite literally putting your life and legs and limbs in your team's hands. So,
you just start walking?
Yeah, you just walk the
Can't
field.
you just throw rocks or something in front of you? There's got to be a better way.
Well, they've already cleared it. They've done all the wanding to where they've searched for the landmines and removed them. And then there's processes. Then the dogs come through and they sniff and they double check it. So by the time I walk through the field, it's gone through probably about 3 to 5 different, safety checks.
Okay, so it's not as brave as you made it sound.
Well,
I'm ruining your story. I'm sorry.
So I don't even know where. Okay. Oh, Australia. So I worked for an Australian major, Stuart Brown, and I was going through my Dear John letter. This was after that, so I was going through my divorce, and he's like, "Mate, you could go back home and visit your friends and family, but I'm not telling you that not to, because I'm just saying that they're likely to always be there." Now we all know he wasn't meaning literally, but how many times do you get the opportunity to go to Australia on the government's dime? So he said, mate, why don't you come hang out with me in Australia? So not only did I go for my third deployment, I went back for my fourth deployment. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be, as they say in Hollywood, an American movie ending. This is going to be more of a European movie ending because, unfortunately, Major Stuart Brown passed away.
Okay.
And
before you went?
No. After, sometime after I got out of the military. Okay. But I guess in a way it does have a somewhat of a happy ending because I was able to fly to Australia from Colorado to go to his memorial service. So I am one of a select few people who have traveled through all 24 time zones.
Yeah. I see where you're getting.
So
have I.
Yeah? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. See, we're two peas in a pod. Look at see. So a lot of times the personnel in the Navy have, and it just depends on where you're stationed. But a lot of people they'll travel to Europe, or they'll travel to like Japan or Australia, but they'll never make that connection from Europe to Japan. So they'll never bridge that gap. And unfortunately, having been deployed, that's the unfortunate part. Fortunately, I have been able to bridge that gap.
Cool.
So,
do you know what deployed means?
No, what does deployed mean? Please tell us.
When the military sends you to another place temporarily. It can be for 6 months, 2 years, right?
Yeah. We call those either the short tours or the long tours. Sometimes it also just depending on where you're deployed to, because you can technically be deployed to overseas duty stations like Germany or Korea or different Italy. I think we have a base in Vicenza. Yes. But there's different duty stations around the world, and sometimes those duty stations are in nice places like Europe. And sometimes they're in not so nice places like Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes.
But
and then sometimes it's inside of a submarine for a couple of years.
Oh my!
Right? But you were Army.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, Navy they go underwater for a very, very long time. That is not fun to me.
No.
No offense to anybody in the Navy.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah. That's what they say in Australia. Good on you.
Good on you, mate. Well, I hope you enjoyed this talk today, and that reach out to Derek Enslow. He's at www.rehomemarketing.com. Yeah, I'm a voiceover person. You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say? Anything lastly you want to share?
Yeah, I do. I'll say this because I wanted to talk about dress. So I dressed up for this show.
Oh, yeah. You did.
Normally I wear, you would think that I was goth because I wear dark clothes to a shoot. And you're like, why would a business professional wear dark clothes to a shoot?
I know.
Please tell me.
Are you a ninja?
I'm a ninja. I get all the cool shots. I'm actually take notes, add that to my resume. I am now a ninja for all the corporate people out in America. No, it's actually so that way you are less visible in some of the reflections. So like, say you're taking a picture in a microwave or a fireplace, or you're near it, you want to wear darker clothing. So that way you don't show up in the picture, or you're less likely to. If you look really hard, you might be able to see it.
Ninja.
So, ninja.
It's a ninja. That's what ninjas do.
I know.
They blend.
They hide in the shadows.
Yeah.
So I am a ninja. I didn't know it until today, but yes.
You learned something new today, see?
I did. Anything else? Oh, we were talking earlier about seeing houses from afar. So if you guys go to YouTube and look up 735 Bear Paw. 735 Bear Paw actually sold to a couple from South Africa. So they saw the house. And so talk about being able to reach a broader market and add value to your client. Who knows who wants to come live here in the beautiful Front Range? And you can do that through video marketing. Unfortunately, you can't do that through just photos.
Well, and this is an international show, so if you're watching and you want to see a home in Colorado,
Yeah,
look them up.
look us up. That's it.
And actually, if you have a really cool home somewhere else, send us the video because I'm looking.
Ooh, yeah, especially if it's in Australia.
If it's on the beach in Australia, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just plugging in for a new house somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I always love to see my competition's work. Here's something else that not a lot of people know. A lot of videographer companies here in Colorado Springs don't do client testimonials. So
it's actually very rare.
A lot of times they have the little blurb or whatever, but I would say that video is killing the, what would you call writing? The writing star?
Video killed the writing stars.
Or the scribe.
The scribe.
The scribe.
Because you can feel the emotion from the people, the sincerity of the people in a video.
Yeah. And you can also still add, what do they call it? Those words at the bottom. Subtext.
The captions.
Captions. You can add captions. So, in essence, you can kill two birds with one stone. For those who might be dyslexic and have troubles reading, they would prefer to watch video. But for those that are hearing impaired, that might not be able to hear what's going on in the video, they can still read the captions. And so by doing that, you're reaching a broader audience.
Well, and there's also something else to add about that. People learn in various ways. There are people who are kinetic, who need to feel it and touch it, that kind of thing. The other ones need to see it. Others need to hear it. Some people like me, basically, need to do all three. So a video, I'll watch the video because I need to see people's eyes to know if I trust them or not. I'm a big eye watcher. So I have to see their eyes to believe them. I want to read it because that's how I remember. And to be able to physically have it and be able to get to it when I want to is very important to me.
Yeah.
So that's the other reason I think video storytelling is so important, especially in the mortgage world, but in any business.
Yeah, absolutely. So get out there, do some videos, tell your story. Don't be afraid to tell your story. We each have a story. Because people will buy a bad product that they know about versus a good product that might be the best out there, but you haven't told anyone what it is.
Being the best kept secret is not a good idea.
No. So a lot of times a good company, I met a gentleman from Renewal by Anderson, and they have an inside joke that says they are the best marketing company that just so happens to do windows. And they're a very good company. They love what they do. They have a great product, and they tell their story. They get it out there so people know about them.
Stories sell, and it's not just for products. For your home is a product when you're trying to sell it. So keep that in mind. Humans like to be comfortable. When a human is uncomfortable, the human does not move. And if you want someone to move or make a decision, you need to make them comfortable. What makes someone comfortable? Well, when they, are watching a video of your house, they're like, this is a really nice house. And then they hear the voiceover of whomever saying, we've lived here for 25 years and this is the most beautiful neighborhood. We've grown here, our children, that kind of thing. People do, I want that. You're basically selling your emotion to them, so that they can encapsulate your emotion. And then they do, you know what? This is mine. I want this. And it's an emotional tie that you're doing with video. You're huge.
So watch, we're going to do an exercise.
Okay.
And you didn't know this is coming. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Now, you can do this anywhere since this is international, but we're going to tailor this specific segment to Colorado Springs.
Alrighty.
So let's play along. So I want you to think. Now, they might be the best. They might not be the best. I don't know. So this is no ding onto any company out there.
Say, don't make me do that.
No, not at all. But I'm going to ask you to name the company that comes to your mind first, because we've probably heard a commercial or some advertising about that company. So, jewelry store in Colorado Springs.
Louis Segraf.
Ooh, yeah. So see, that's a local business. Here's one. You see it on TV a lot. Pick a lawyer.
Oh no, I don't remember them. I tend to turn those off.
The strong arm.
Strong
Yeah.
arm. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
I mean, I heard him when I was in Georgia.
Or what's the father and son one?
Hoiser.
Hoiser and Hoiser is another one.
Yeah, I just see them on buses, and it's a father and a son, and they look alike, and they're looking at each other.
Yeah, but there's a couple ones. Let's see. Pick a restaurant.
I don't do restaurants.
You don't do restaurants. Okay.
Are you kidding? I know how to cook. I don't go out.
Oh, that's true. So she has friends that know how to cook too. So okay. What about if I say just do it?
Nike.
What if I say
it's a real thing?
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Brings. Oh no, I was thinking Coca-Cola brings the dead to life.
Choice of a new generation.
Pepsi.
Okay. You can have it your way.
Burger King.
Okay. So obviously, one, branding works, and telling your story. Oh, there's a car one. Who's the? That's a hard one. I was gonna say there's a guy that always tells a different story depending on the season, and he has a good commercial. Like he'll say, "Hey, it's Valentine's Day, and if you don't love your car, bring it in." Or Labor Day, why labor over getting your car fixed all the time? Bring your car in. So something that's catchy, something that tells your story, something that people will remember you for.
Okay, because I'm thinking like Subaru has been doing a whole new series of commercials where they have the car driving up into the mountains and the family is playing and the mother's pregnant, and then later on they come out in the same car and they have the baby and they're playing in the water. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
And then later it shows again the little girl has grown up and the dad is handing her the keys to the car.
Nice.
And she drives off to college. So they're basically building a legacy of family love into their car.
Yeah, exactly. That did make me remember this time last year, I was in a Honda commercial.
You were?
I were, yeah.
What were you doing?
We were playing football, so we were in the crowd. So I wasn't one of the main characters, but I was one of the people in the background. And we filmed it down south at a high school near Security Field area.
Okay, so that's Southern Colorado.
Yeah, so just south of Colorado Springs-ish. But yeah, no, so...
I played a dinosaur in a movie called Jurassic Thunder. Well, I wasn't the dinosaur. I held the tail and did this.
Yeah, she was.
No, I just held the tail.
Small arms. No, so you can't do video just once like anything else in the marketing world. You can't do it just once and decide if
it's consistency.
It is, and you have to do it for about 3 to 6 months in any business that you do your marketing. Try it for 3 to 6 months. And if it doesn't work, try something different. But open yourself up to possibilities. And yeah.
I have to stop you.
Yeah. What?
Don't use the word try.
Ooh, yes.
Do or do not. So, do this for 6 months because the human mind likes consistency.
Yes.
And if you're inconsistent, people get uncertain and then they don't move. It comes back to being comfortable.
Yeah, it's like the old parable with the frogs. There's 5 frogs on a log, and 4 of them decide to jump off. How many are left? Well, some people say 5.
They didn't jump.
Some people say 1, but yeah, it's 5. They decided to jump, but they didn't take action. So take action.
Do it.
Do it. Nike.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, I could go on forever, but I think we've had so much fun here. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and yeah, look us up, Real Estate Home Marketing, www.rehomemarketing.com. We don't just cater to realtors. We work with small business owners as well. And we look forward to working with you and telling your story at the end of the day because you have a story to tell.
And he'll help you put your message out for people to understand and feel, see, taste, and put themselves in your world so that they want to be in your world. So until the next time, thank you, Derek, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And I'll see all of you the next time you sign in. Have a great day.
Bye.